What's up, everybody? Andy Waddell with Form Films, and welcome to Grade in 10. So today I want to do something just for fun. We're going to regrade a shot from Ozark and make Marty Byrde feel like the star of a 90s happy sitcom. Let's do it. All right, here is the shot. So we're going to take it from this, which is, by the way, a best screen grab I could find on the internet kind of thing. So it's not perfect fidelity, but it's pretty good. We're going to take it from this, kapow, to that. Okay, it's not perfect. Again, I'm working with baked, massively stylized, graded, final, compressed streaming screen grab. But there's going to be some mess in her hair. We may not quite dial in, but we're going to get this thing to feel like a pretty poppy 90s sitcom. So let's get going. First and foremost, delete all of my work and start over. Okay, I'm going to do some denoising. Again, this is a decent screenshot, but we're going to denoise it fairly heavily, especially to clean up some of the stuff in these trees. But we're also going to go back and do some depth map magic to blur out the background a little more to take care of some of the digital artifacty crap back in here. Next up, I'm just going to take a big swing at exposure. We're going to go skadoosh. And I might jump back to this node at some point after I get my white balance where I want it, but I want to see what I'm working with in exposure before I start swinging the temperature around. We'll do something like that. Okay. White balance. I don't do this a lot. I'm normally going to dive in and play with the wheels more often than not. But in this case, I thought, gosh, the whole thing is just so like harshly stylized blue. Let's just find something white, use the white balance tool right here, and just see if we can swing it back at least 95% of the way. And I'm finding that this part of the window frame right here is perfect. So let's see, right in there. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Let's do some micro adjustments. Looking at our scopes, I want to work down here to kind of balance out the shadows. Blue is still kind of lifted, which you can see in his pants and shadows in his shirt. So I'm just going to play with curves for a couple of minutes. Try to kind of balance this out a little bit. Zero out the bottom end. Okay, kind of liking that. Let's do, I'm going to call this node skin. Let's use our 3D qualifier. Let's grab their faces. Like I said, I know we're going to get a little bit of gnarliness here in her hair where she's got some multicolor stuff happening, which I don't know if that's in the original shot or if that's artifact coming off of the really, heavy stylized moody blues, but we're going to play around with pulling their skin tone back just a little bit more to normal. When you're working like this, you can really see how much pixelization you get from the overly compressed image you're working with. Okay, so there's going to be some skin tones back here in the grass, back here. Not that worried about it. I will go ahead and kind of clean black a little bit of it away, as long as I don't lose her face and his face, which I could do separately if I needed to, but I'm not going to, because I don't think I need to. Oops, I don't want his eyeballs. There we go. Okay, let's... I'm pretty heavy-handed with that, but let's see what that gets us. I'm going to drop the color compressor on it, and we're going to try to pull the skin tone back. Everything's so purpley. Purpley, is that a word? Might manually dial this in a little bit to pull it off the reds and get a little better Marty Byrde tan here. Okay, I'm going to compress hue and saturation pretty solidly on this. And I'm going to go back and just try to add another point or two. Let me get that tip of his nose. I don't know what's going on with that. Qualifier. All right. There we go. Okay. So let's flip to vector scope. Looking pretty good. I will take the offset wheel and just roll it a little more toward the skin tone line indicator. Turn that off. Okay. Oh, I already like that better. So let's toggle off. There, a little bit moodier still. Back on. Kind of got a warm summer vibe going. I am going to pop their skin just a little bit overall. I don't want to make it so much that his face feels like it's popping off, but I do want to make it a touch brighter. It's interesting because they have the sun back here, but there's definitely a light, you know, from frame right that's catching him on the hair and, you know, hitting her forehead here. So kind of balancing, you know, two different, I mean, I think this is the sun. Maybe this is just sky. Can't really see the shadows. Anyway, moving along. I want to isolate some greens. I feel like we got a lot of interesting leftover situation with the greens because of pulling everything back from the deep blue sea. So let's just start sampling as much greenery as we can. I'm going to add all the different flavors of greens. Get all these dark greens. We want to just sample the heck out of it. Okay, so let's see what we got. Very nice, very nice. Okay, let's clean that up a little bit. I'm also going to drop the color compressor on this, and I'm just going to pull all of the greens to more or less a single, maybe slightly darker tone. Okay, now, let's see if that works. I may have to undo that. Okay, now I want to kind of crush it down a little bit. And I want to push a little more from up top in the green. Could even play with pushing a little red into it. It's interesting. That helps it feel like there's a little bit of sun. Actually, I see some sun on the back on this tree, so maybe the sun is really over here, unless they've got a massive M18 or something sitting over here hitting that and him. Okay, let's audition this. Off, on. Oh yeah, look at that. Just really unifies the greens, really pulls a lot of the kind of cool blue out still. I like that a lot better. Okay. I'm doing some things out of order from what I normally do, just given the source material, but I'm going to play with just saturating this whole thing a little bit more right here. Maybe it's had too much. And on skin, I could pull their skin back independently. So maybe just a little bit of sat. All right, I'm going to now set up two nodes, and we're going to use the depth map, which you may have seen me do in other videos. I'm going to save this because once in a blue moon, this thing has crashed my machine. Thankfully, not today. Okay, we're going to invert this, and what I want to do is adjust so that they are solid black and our trees are falling off in the distance. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And so now on the following node where I'm passing my alpha through, kill depth map preview. And I'm going to come over here and okay, sorry, I had that soloed. Okay, so now what we're doing, if I solo it again, you can see we're actually blurring. I'm catching a little bit of the edge of them. I might need to adjust that. There we go. It's a little better. Okay, so now I'm blurring the background into. Keep doing that. Sorry, there's always a delay when you have the depth map on, even in. Oh, it's in better mode right now. That's why. Okay. Yeah, so if I crank this ridiculously high, you'll see what it does. But I love how it's ignoring the grass right by her hip. And it is really fading off. It's a little bit syrupy, cloudy, foggy, smooth. But if you use it with discretion, it can really help. So let's toggle it off. Okay, so notice we've just got some dirtier edges back here. This is, again, just, you know, like all up in here. This is just the results of a mediocre screen grab from a website of undisclosed origin. And kicking it on, kaboom, it just kind of cleans it up. Digging that. All right, let's throw some sharpening on. This image is a little gritty, again, just from where it started. But I will just dial down sharpening just a little bit, just to pop his eyes a little bit. Okay, final thing I want to do, and I'm going to turn off this depth map for a second. I just want to be able to, I want to be able to move quicker. Off, there we go. I am going to play with throwing some aperture diffusion over the whole image. And the goal of which I want to make this feel warm and glowy and sunny. Maybe not that glowy and sunny. But, so there's two approaches. I could assume the sun is over here and just forget about the fact that he's got sunshine hitting his left temple, the back of his head. Or I could pull it over here and let it play off him. And then I can come in here and say, let's make this a really light sunshine yellow. Dial it up to about 95%. A little more saturated. Then I could pull. I think we'll lean into this side. I like that. Draws my eye to him anyway, which I like. Okay, so then I'm going to pull the global blend back to about 0.35, 0.5, 0.4. Okay, so let's kick our background blur back on. It's a little much. Looks like we shot it with a DSLR at negative T4. Let's go about 0.35 on this. Just enough to kill some of that noise back there. Finally, no, I didn't label these. I'm sorry. Depth, blur, sharpen, and we'll just call this one glow. Okay, so let's audition this. Off, original, on. A happy 90s sitcom moment between a father and his daughter. I think we did it. I think we have accomplished the mission. All right, everybody. Thank you for having fun with me. Just what a treat just to play with a frame, see what else can you do with it, especially something so stylized like a show like Ozark. It's just really fun to see what you can do and pull the colors out. So give us a follow, hit subscribe, like all the things, and hit the bells buttons, and flip the switches. And we'll see you next time on Grade in 10. Thanks.